The SAT and ACT college admission exams are riddled with problems in their current form. Though they can be helpful predictors of whether students will succeed in college, they shut out too many bright and otherwise qualified candidates because those who can spend the money for private tutoring will almost always have the edge in getting higher scores. More affluent students also can pay to take the tests over and over to get their best possible scores. So, it's understandable, if not ideal, that the University of California dropped them for acceptance decisions. But now UC has decided it will not use any entrance exam. Not the state's standardized test for 11th graders. Not an exam that UC designs itself. University officials concluded any test would be prone to bias and the state's smarter balanced exam would provide only modest additional useful information. This nonetheless is a problematic decision, especially after a committee of faculty leaders concluded in 2020, after expansive study, that the SAT and ACT were worth keeping and could help diversify the student population. UC should reconsider this policy and use at least one test as part of its admission process, though it should be free to students with a few no-cost retries. Grade inflation is widespread at affluent high schools, creating an inequitable situation. The holistic review UC uses for admission that can count any number of factors that the admissions officers happen to find appealing is even more subjective than course grades. A test score can be an important check against straight A report cards or a more lackluster transcript, which is what the faculty committee concluded 3 years ago. If a student has glowing grades but flubs a test badly time after time, that raises legitimate questions about how earned those grades were. And a student who performs well on the test but has weak grades might have had teachers who were tougher graders. Likewise, the student might be the sort of independent soul who would make a brilliant university student but doesn't do well with the regimented rules and limited course offerings of high school.